So hey yo, what's up guys, this is me Barnabas and this is my first video on YouTube. So from today on YouTube we are starting a series. Basically I am starting a series which comprises completely of programming languages starting from scratch, zero level, beginner level to an advanced level. We'll be going through various steps of beginner level in Python, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, moderate level, and as well as we'll reach the advanced level where we'll learn to use the advanced level strings and logarithms of Python. So be with me in touch throughout the entire series, and we'll have a lot of fun together with learning. So do make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you are new, do make sure to hit the bell icon and also comment in the comment section below so that I will get the latest news, so what to make an update on about the videos, and also do like and share to your friends. Thank you. Be in touch with me. So let's get started. So today we will be looking at the introduction to programming languages. Here we will learn what is a programming language, what is the classifications of language, which is the most essential language. We'll have comparison between front end and back ends languages, and then we'll also have a look at the languages which are going to study further in the upcoming lectures. So let's begin. So what is a programming language basically means? A programming language is a way for programmers or developers to communicate with computers. This means that the computer does not understand our language that we use to speak regularly. Computer only understands the language in the form of binary codes, that is 0 and 1. So we need a specific language to communicate with the computer so that we can provide input to the computer and the computer will give output to us. So, programming language consists of sets of rules that allow string values to be converted into various ways of generating machine codes, or in the case of visual programming language, graphical elements. This means we provide string values to the computer and the computer will encode it into binary codes or in machine codes and then give us output in a visualized manner. Now let's us understand how does it works. So basically this is a simple chain of how a programming language works. First of all, let us understand the working, why programming language is essential for us. Let us assume this is the user and this is the input device where we are going to provide the input. So whenever we provide the input in our local language, the computer does not understand, as it only understand one language, that is known as machine language or binary language. So there is no direct interaction between the user and the input device, so we don't get any output. So in order to solve this problem, many languages have been created such as Python, Java, C++, CSS, HTML to interact with the computer. So let us understand this. This is the input device, this is the user interface. So a programming language works as an intermediate between the user and the input device, so that the language of the user could be understood by the input device. So a user provides a language which is convertible to the input device. This means the language which user provides to the input device, this is called programming language, and this programming language is easier for the input device to convert into its binary codes and understands it and gives us the output of the input provided. Now let us have a look at the classification of programming languages. Basically there are many types of languages can be classified into varied categories, but the categories which is important for us is of two types: scripting language and imperative languages. So let us look what is scripting language. Scripting languages are those languages which are simple to learn with easy syntax and dynamic typings. The scripting language is the type of language that is interpreted rather than compiled. The two types of this language are server-side scripting language and client-side scripting languages. These languages makes communication possible with the other programming language. So let me make it understand and clear. So scripting language is a type of language which is easy for a user as well as computer to understand it. It is easy for us to give the input and it is easy for the computer to convert into machine codes and give the output to us. It is not as that complicated as to compile it and make it into machine codes. So there are two types of scripting languages, that is called server side scripting language and client side scripting language, which we'll see further in the coming slide. And the second type of language is imperative language. In this language, the programmer provides a set of instructions that the computer follows to manipulate the state of program and the information structured within it. That means the structure designed by the scripting language, the outer structure designed by the scripting language is further programmed by the imperative language, and it makes more usable and more informative for the client to work upon it. And both the language are not as that difficult as to convert into compiled languages that converts machine language, normal language into machine language. So it is not as that complicated, but imperative language is deeper section of the scripting language, in a simple word. Now let us have a small comparison. First of all, we'll have a comparison between front end languages and back end languages. That I had talked earlier, that we'll get the comparison in the upcoming slide. So this is the language, front end language and back end language. So first of all, let me explain you with example what is front end language and back end language. So this is a website that I have created. This is a simple website, responsive website that I have created. So this structure you can see outer here, the text are coming, picture is coming, your logo is coming, and this all hover pads, search pad, hover pads, and all this language, this is called front end. So here, this is the attraction viewpoint of any language, of any website. So front end is basically used in website for designing the attractive part of the website. So let me show you its code. So this is the code of this web page that I have shown. So this index.html, it is the front end designing of a website. So this is called front end designing, where we design the appearance of a website or anything that we design the appearance. Now let me show you what is backend actually. Let me go back to the slide. Okay. So let's move on. Front-end language are called client-side languages, which are used to create virtual and interactive website elements that user can see. So it is used for attractive purposes. The front-end languages include HTML, CSS, and Java. So here you can see this. So let me increase the size for you. So you can see here, it is an HTML tag. Here at the top you can see it is a HTML tag, and this is the CSS tag. So what happens is it gives the outer structure and it designs the structure. CSS designs the structure. So these two are called front end languages, because they design the appearance that makes suitable for the user interface. Now let's see what is backend language. Backend language are known as server-side languages. They create logic and functionality behind the scenes of the website, like processing, storing, and managing the user's account and authentication. Python, Ruby, and Java are some of the backend languages. So let me explain it with an example. Okay, so this is the website that I was talking about. So this is the designing, okay, as we can see. But users see here, whenever I take the cursor in the home section, the home section color gets grayed. This is all because it is compiled with Java. Java is a code which makes the structure, outer structure, it tells the outer structure to perform actions when the input is provided into it. So I have given various inputs, so this outer appearance is functioning as an input. See, whenever I touch here, I can type anything or do anything. I can hover it here. Hover appears here, hover appears. See, it is responding as per my touch. Only front end will not work in this case. So this the thing which is enabling me to go to that page while I touch is the back end. Now let me show you its code. Okay, so here is HTML, here is CSS, these are the front ends, and here you can see resp.js. It is a JavaScript file. So this is the small function, this is the small language which I used in this web page to make it responsive. So this feature is called backend language. Okay, so I hope it's clear. Now let's move forward. Now let's have another comparison between high level languages and low level languages. Okay, so high level languages, without reading this, let me explain you in slow way. So high level languages are those languages which are used by the developers to develop a heavy task which cannot be controlled by HTML and CSS. It requires a heavy coding. So these are fulfilled by high level languages. Okay, so some of the examples of high level languages are Python, Java and Ruby. For example, here you can see here. This is just a simple code with padding, HTML and CSS. But as I go to this Java file, in this Java file, I can see that inputs are given like add event listeners and document query selectors, burger, navbar. So these are some of the high level languages which could not be understood easily, and thus these are stored in the form of libraries. These are used to create complex things into an easier way. So these are called high level languages. Examples are Python, Java and Ruby. Now let us understand what is low level language. The languages which are more complex to understand and write means as this Java, Python, CSS, Ruby, these are Java, Python, actually most especially Java, Python and Ruby. They are high level languages, but they are easy to understand by the user. So the user could learn this language easily and then provide the input to the computer as the computer gives the output out. But these low level languages are not that easy to understand. They are complex languages to be understood. So in this language, what happens is that the code written in language is very efficient and directly manipulates the hardware and memory of the computer. So these are the language which affects the hardware as well as the internal parts of the computer, and this cannot be interpreted by any normal or beginner user, whereas high level languages can be used by normal user as well, beginner as well, but low level language could not be used by them because they requires a large experience, a very high experience to work on this language, because a small mistake in this language can affect the entire system of the computer. So now let us see major programming languages. So first of all we have JavaScript, secondly Python, Java, then Kotlin, PHP, Ruby, C and C++. Actually the C and C++ are the low level languages. SQL, HTML and CSS. So these are the major programming languages which are essential to learn. Everyone who wants to code in his future career must have a strong base in these languages. So in the upcoming lectures we'll be starting our series with this Python language. So we'll start learning Python from the next class. That's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed the video and you all got efficient knowledge about programming languages, and let us move forward in the upcoming lectures and let us continue with the Python.